Hey guys, John Murdoch, Cityscape Metro Group. I put together 5 ways that a real estate agent can help a homeowner maximize the sale of their property. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Now, step 1, first impressions are everything. That's why when you walk into a model home at new construction, they got all the bells and whistles. They got the fancy furniture. They got just the right color scheme. They have everything to where you walk in there and you say, honey, I want this, buy me this, right? They know it because what? First impressions are everything. So you got to make sure when you're going to sell your house, first impressions are everything. Make sure that you've done the due diligence, that you've invested where it needs to be invested. Now, that means different things to different people. So if you have a $300,000 condo, that's gonna be a different investment than if you have a $2 million single family house. So you have to know, start with, what type of property do I have? Condo, townhouse, single family, and then what price point am I at? Am I at a $300,000 price point? $500,000, $2 million? You got to understand, because when you go to prepare your $300,000 condo, you're probably going to spend $3,000 to $5,000 just on average, just to prepare and get it up to speed. If you have a $500,000 to $700,000 single family home, you're probably going to be closer to $10,000 to maybe $12,000. If you have a $2 million single family, you're going to be probably significantly more than that. So you have to understand, what is my house and what should I do? The biggest problem I see a lot of homeowners make is that they over improve their property, meaning they do too much and they don't get that return back. So make sure that not only first impressions are everything, but that you're doing it the right way. Okay, number 2, agents know how to maximize the number of views on your home. Now, when I say this, I do not mean just putting it in the multiple listing service. Now, there are some agents that still only do that, okay? You wanna make sure that you're casting the biggest, widest net as possible, meaning not only just the multiple listing service, but how are you targeting the buyer in classified ads, newspapers, online, targeted marketing through SEO and Google and Facebook and Twitter and all these social media platforms? How are you advertising on an international basis for clientele? We've helped actually more buyer clients overseas in the past 12 months than we did previously, and some of them were even sight unseen. How did we do it, right? You gotta make sure that you're casting a wide net. Now, number 3, making sure that you don't miss anything in the fine print. That also goes to tie into my number 4, but you wanna make sure in the fine print, when you go to sell your house, if you're a seller, once you sign on that dotted line that you're gonna sign, that you're going to sell your house, you can't just back out just for the sake of backing out. So you need to make sure that you're understanding all the fine print. Okay, now number 4, and you need to make sure that you align with an agent, a real estate agent, who not only knows the market, but they also know how to price your home, and that ties into the fine print. So when I say know the market in 2020 and 2021 is completely different of a real estate market than we've seen in the past decade. So you need to make sure you understand what's happening on a weekly basis. If this is the first time that you've sold a house in 10 years, 15 years, or even 3 years, and in March of 2021, if you received $5,000 over asking price, you'd be jumping for joy. You'd say, wow, this is amazing, this is great. Honey, take the deal, right? Well, if I were to tell you that in March of 2021, we were helping other people get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 above the asking price, depending on the price point of the home. So you need to make sure that you understand the market. Now, this market has been incredible. We've had a lot of good highs, we've had a lot of good lows. It varies on a weekly basis. So you need to understand what's happening in the market at that time, and how does whatever offer or fine print that you have at that point, how does it match up with everything that's going on right now versus in the past? Because as of right now, when you're evaluating, it is completely different. And then you need to know how to price your home. Now, the ways of arbitrarily, hey, I've got a wide variety of pricing here. I'm just going to arbitrarily pick, here's what I want, so I'm going to list it for that, and that's what my listing price is going to be. It needs to be more strategic than that. You have to go into pricing your property with a strategy. You don't just want to arbitrarily pick a number. So that's also a very a mistake that I see a lot of sellers make. And then 5th and foremost, you want to make sure that in order to maximize the sale, you have an expert negotiator. Now, your typical real estate agent sells 5 to 7 homes in a year, which means that they negotiate 5 to 7 times in 12 months. What you want to make sure, if you're a homeowner, to really maximize that is you want to work with somebody or find somebody or talk to somebody who has been negotiating on a daily basis, a weekly basis, somebody who does 100 contracts a year, 50 contracts a year, something along those lines where that you know that they're negotiating on a daily, weekly basis so that they understand what's involved. And negotiation has changed over time. It's no longer the dog eat dog shark. Now, sometimes you need that. However, negotiation is a different sport. It's making sure that it's a win for all parties. And if you can make sure everybody feels like it's a win, you're not gonna have that sense of head-to-head exposure that typically happens. So there are a lot of ways to avoid that and get to the settlement table all on good terms. So those are the 5 things that it's gonna take for you to maximize the sale of your home, which is most people's largest asset. Now, John Murdock, Cityscape Metro Group, we are a top-selling real estate team. We've sold over $200 million of real estate, been doing this around a decade of real estate sales. So we service Virginia, DC, and Maryland. So if you have any questions, if you ever want to understand the value of your home, the steps that it's going to take for you to maximize this sale for you particularly, or if you just want to figure out, hey, we have this property, what should we do to invest? We don't want to improve it too much, but what do you feel like we should do to make sure that we don't spend too much, but that it's we put the least amount in to get the most out? So feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to have conversations with you and hope to see you very soon.